The timer hits zero and we are live with a brand new webinar for all of you guys on how to do data science and machine learning on Microsoft Azure. Hello everybody, my name is Shavanshan Thakur and I'm your host and moderator for today's session. I'm a community manager at K21 Academy as well. So this particular session was a session that was, on a high demand of sorts from you guys. You have been asking us for this particular topic for a lot of time. As data science and machine learning is on the rise, the number of job opportunities in the market is also on a at a all-time high, to say the least. So guys, again, before I start, I want to make sure that I get to know you guys better as well. So please do answer these three questions in the comment section for me. Number one, what is your name? Number two, where are you currently located in the world? And number three, what are you currently doing in your career? I have got Natalie here from Chicago, and she is completely new to data science and is seeing if it would be something that she would be interested in. So, absolutely, this is a great opportunity for you, Natalie, as well, to dip your toes of sorts into a technology that's absolutely new for you. And if you are somebody, Natalie, let me assure you this particular session is going to be very beneficial for you because we have got topics, or we are covering topics that are for both, whether you are a beginner or whether you are an intermediate. And we are also talking about the different kind of job opportunities, the average salary packages, and so much more. So guys, again, please make sure if you guys have any questions throughout the webinar at any given point, please do put them down in the comment section, and I would be gladly to pick them up after the technical part is over, as we have got a proper Q&A section for that particular reason as well. So let's begin. First of all, let's have a look at what you'll be learning today. We'll be starting with what is data and different types of data. Then we're going to move on into a comparison between machine learning versus data science versus artificial intelligence. Moving on, we will be talking about what is data science, then the demand of data science and the role of a data scientist. After that, the job and salary of data science in the market. After that, we will be looking at why data science is kind of important for Azure cloud. Moving on, how to do data science and machine learning on Microsoft Azure. And then why companies are looking for qualified data scientists, like why we know that there is a huge demand, why that demand exists. We will be talking about that as well. Then we will be also talking about a business scenario, how data science is crucial towards modern businesses, and again elaborating onto a point where why not just small scale businesses but also large, not just large scale businesses but also small scale businesses are looking at opportunities uh, to make the best use out of the data available to them. Moving on, to end everything, or to end, put an end to the webinar, we also will be looking at why certifications is important, which certification would help you guys to have a career in on data science on Microsoft Azure. And we will also be looking at how a certification will help you in your career and achieve that goal of getting a good salary. Moving on, let me tell you about the trainer for this particular session. He's got extensive experience in IT. He's also a Microsoft certified trainer. He's currently working in Azure SQL family products. He's got over 9 years of experience and over 15 certifications to his name. These are some of the many certification badges that he has. And he is also there. One thing that is not mentioned here, that he's also beloved by his learners, and according to the feedback that we have gotten, he's consistently scored 5 out of 5, or nothing below than that, to say the least, in a way. Then again, guys, I want you guys to answer this particular question for me. Are you a beginner, are you an intermediate, or are you an expert on data science on Microsoft Azure? So please do put it in the comment section, in the chat window, so that I can get to know you guys better, our team can get to know you guys better on that part. Okay, moving on, guys. Before I hand it over to our trainer for the session, I want you guys to make sure that you're focused and you're asking whatever questions you have regarding this particular topic throughout the session. We have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of this particular topic. So whatever questions you might have, we will be answering those as well. So guys, again, make sure that you ask whatever doubts you guys have. I've got an incredible team with me here as well. So if there are a lot of questions, then we'll try to answer them directly in the chat. Otherwise, we will make sure that we are picking them up directly in the live in the Q&A section. So without any further ado, I'll hand it over to our trainer for the evening. Sir, I have made you the presenter now.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the webinar. And this is the webinar on how to do data science and machine learning on Azure. I hope that the screen is visible and I am audible to all of you. And as our team has already let you know that we have all these topics on which we shall be discussing, that how the data science and the machine learning can give you the edge in the career that you are waiting for, right? And we will be talking specifically on the Azure platform, that is the cloud platform, right? Why it is important that we should do data science and machine learning on a cloud rather than on-prem or on local workstations, right? And we will be talking on that how a certification could show to the entire community that you have gone through appropriate learning and you have gone through proper hands-on exposure to the cloud platform as far as the data science is concerned. Okay, so our team has already let you know about me. I am Aman and I am a Microsoft certified trainer and the Azure technical trainer. I primarily work on the data technologies that exist on the Microsoft Azure platform. So I hope you have put in the chat about you, whether you fall into the beginners category or the intermediate category or the expert category. That will help us understand your needs and objectives of attending this webinar and the subsequent training sessions that may happen on the data science. Ask questions, remain focused, and this is the value that we want to deliver through this session. So now let's get started with the basic question. What is data and what types of data do you handle while you go and become a data professional, and specifically speaking, predictive analytics and data science, right? So data is a very generic term, right? Anything that is numbers, facts, quantities, informations, graphs, measurements, they all are classified as data. When you have something like 23 comma Aman comma MCT, right? If you put metadata into it, it will become information. For instance, if I put headers, right, that the first observation is the age, second observation is the name, and third observation is the title, then it becomes information, right? A comma separated file with a header will give you information, and the original data points are data points. So you find data floating around you everywhere, right? You go to any website, you are generating data by clicking on various things on that website, like buttons and graphs and whatnot, your images, whatever you have. So you go to a website like an e-commerce website and you click on various pages on that website, you are generating something called as a click stream. And we, as the machine learning engineers, are sitting on the other side of the website and we pick that data that you are generating. And the next time now you visit the website, we have taken your data and trained something called as a recommendation model with it, right? So your data, we take and we train the recommendation model with it. And when the next time you visit, depending on your page visits and depending on what you ordered, you are shown a lot of relevant recommendations, right? So I gave you such a basic example that you see in your daily life when you visit any kind of an e-commerce website, right? So you are the source of the data. Then the machine learning engineers do analytics on your data, and then that analytics is again served to you in the form of recommendations, and you go ahead and you become the consumer of the analytics, right? So the point is that data is highly valuable to the modern organizations to understand the customers and the clients better. It can be the difference between the business leader and the business laggers, right? Those who understand their customers and their operations are business leaders, and how fast and how well they can understand it is what makes the most important sense. What are the types of data that exist in the modern world? The data exists in various forms and shapes. You have structured data, semi-structured data like JSON documents, key value pairs, graphical databases, column families. You have unstructured data like you have audio files, video files, images that you upload on Facebook or Instagram, videos and shorts that you create on your YouTube. Everything is data, right? You do a live on Facebook, you do a live on YouTube, you are generating a real-time stream, right? So all that is data that you are generating, and the point is that this data is this data has high value, right? This velocity, variety, veracity, value, right? Why are we living in this world? Behind data is because it has high value. Okay. Data is qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative data means data that can be converted to numerical form. It can be discrete, like your age, right? Your age is a discrete number, right? If we were to say it in years, number of children, number of pregnancies, let us say, in a diabetic model. So when we develop a diabetes model, diabetic prediction model, the number of pregnancies that a lady can have is a discrete data. It will always be in a digital discrete form, 1, 2, 3, 4. It can never be 1.5, right? Okay. Continuous means data that is continuous, right? So it can have any value in any range. You have distributions of various kinds like normal distributions, Poisson distribution, and so on and so forth, which are continuous distributions. You also have qualitative data like nominal data, like the gender, male, female, right? Like color of hair, right? And ordinal means like nominal, but with ranking in it, right? So if you were to say that there is some ordering in that, you'd be telling, for instance, the months, right? January, February, March, April. So if that was your data, then it has a ranking order in it. January is the month before February, right? So nominal data, ordinal data, you deal with all these kinds of data types in your machine learning and data science world. Now you hear in the entire community the various terms like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. And it is the time for us to unravel and let us understand what these terms really mean so that you will be able to understand what lies where. The entire body of data oriented sciences is called as data science. Data science is time immemorial, right? Most of the people in the modern time believe that data science is a new thing. Data science is a 21st century phenomenon, right? No, that's not true, right? Data science is from the time immemorial. For instance, look at the science of astronomy. If you look at the science of astronomy, it is a data oriented science. What is data science in reality? Data science in reality is the science of saying anything on the basis of data. Your opinions do not matter wherever you are in the hierarchy of the organization. If you are a CEO sitting in the board meeting, or if you are a clerk, that does not matter, right? Your opinions do not matter, right? So when you take decisions, your opinions are not considered. What you should say should be backed by data. For instance, if I give an example, look at the science of astronomy, right? if I take you back to the 15th and the 16th century, everyone had the opinion, and the religious institutions also had the opinion. What was the opinion? Opinion was that sun revolves around the earth, right? We used to believe, and we had an opinion that sun revolves around the earth. And the religious institutions used to say that if you say against this, you're going to go behind bar and die in the jail. And that's what happened to Galileo Galilei, right? He died while in the jail, okay, because he said, no, earth revolves around the sun, not the sun revolves around the earth. So he was put behind the bars and he died. Opinion. And then came various astronomers. So there came a man called as Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was a Danish astronomer, and right from his childhood, he collected the data of the planetary motions. He was a data engineer. He collected the data, cleansed the data, normalized it, scaled it, and so on and so forth. But he did not say anything about that data. His data was taken by people like Johannes Kepler, and Johannes Kepler developed a model on that data. He fitted an equation to that data. He fitted an equation on that data, model fitting, right? And what did he say? He developed an equation. That equation says that the fourth power of the time period of the planet around the sun is proportional to the fourth power of the area of the orbit. You might not understand what that rule is, but using that rule, we can predict where the planet would be in future. So in June, if the planet is at a certain point, then a person would be able to tell where will the planet be in August using that equation. So that is model fitting. That is what is predictive analytics. On the basis of data, you can do predictive analytics, right? And your words are backed by data, right? You are not having an opinion. You are not saying that the planet in August will be here like an astrologer, right? No, you are saying it on the basis of data science, right? So data science is a field of entire world composed of mathematics, statistics, probability, and modern machine learning based algorithms that we use in order to do predictive modeling. We take the data and feed the data into something called as a learning algorithm. And the output of the learning algorithm is a machine learning model. And there comes machine learning. The modern science of developing predictive models lives on top of machine learning algorithms, which produce a prediction function. When you use machine learning for developing your cognitive capabilities, which we human beings are better at, like vision, hearing, speech, translations, transliterations, image recognition, character recognition, natural language processing. So if you use machine learning for cognitive analytics, it becomes artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence which mimics human intelligence, right? So what is data science? As we told you, you should always understand data science as data oriented science, right? A science where your claims, your statements, your results are backed by proper data. And you typically forecast, you typically predict. And for people to believe in your prediction, you must support it with data. Your opinion does not matter whether you are a CEO or a normal clerk working in the office. If a clerk says something that is backed by data and CEO has an opinion, then CEO is put to the garbage, and what we take is the clerk's recommendation because he's giving the answer on the basis of data. So data science is an amalgamation, a mixture of various fields like mathematics and algorithms. So you will have to have the knowledge of basic statistics, probability theory, right? And you should have basic understanding of modern learning algorithms that you might have heard about, like logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, and so on and so forth. You should be able to do programming in a language like Python, right? You should learn some libraries like scikit-learn, PyTorch, Keras, TensorFlow, and you should have proper domain knowledge in which you want to apply data science, which means, do you want to apply it in the financial world? Do you want to apply it in the healthcare? Do you want to apply it in an education? What is your domain? You need domain expertise to ask good questions that predictive analytics will answer, right? So data science jobs, we typically as professionals look at the economic side of our learnings as well. We do not learn something for the sake of learning, right? Because we need to learn that has pragmatic appeal in the industry, that can give us projects, that can give us jobs. So it is extremely important to highlight that what kind of companies hire people that are very well developed, highly practical, and experienced machine learning engineers. Like popular employers like your Amazon, Apple, Autodesk, Nike, PitchBook, they all hire thousands and hundreds of data engineers every year, and the base salaries are in the order of more than 100K dollars, 100,000 K dollars, right? So 100K, right? $100,000. And that's an amazing package that you take at home, right? So Amazon in India would give you 5 to 7 as a base, Accenture 6 to 8, Bosch 4 to 24, 12 to 14 Adobe, and the greatest bank in the world, which even survived the financial meltdown of the 2008 financial crisis, the JP Morgan Chase, the only bank that survived, right? So JP Morgan Chase and Company, which are Hyderabad, right? And they offered you 30 and the 60 LPA. So what I mean to say is that if you have got proper grounding, proper practical exposure to the field of data science and machine learning, and you have done proper project work on this field, then companies are waiting for such people who carry a good portfolio of hands-on exposure to the machine learning and data science, right? Similarly, if you observe the jobs that are open in the United States and Canada, you see that associate data scientist, all these different kind of roles, and these jobs are available even in Microsoft, right? Waiting to be filled. Similarly, in the India and the Middle East, you see all these data science roles that are waiting to be filled. And people like you with proper exposure, proper hands-on, and proper learning can fill these roles and be a candidate over there. US, UK, and India, everywhere you see that the roles are available, right? Again, it must be understood that what is a kind of a base package that we observe in the market, right? What is the market value of a data science professional, right? So you can see that a data scientist would be paid an average base salary of 141,000 US dollars, right? With a lot of non-cash benefits which are not taxed, right? So United States has the most lucrative position for all these kind of professionals, provided that you are properly exposed to the proper hands-on work in the machine learning world. Because it is programming, and programming needs time to practice and master, that's why data science is little hard to master. It is also that you must have your foundations developed properly, the foundations of statistics, the foundations of probability, Kolmogorovian probability theory that we use in the data science. And then you have to have proper programming exposure with all these libraries like scikit-learn, PyTorch, and TensorFlow, and like of these. Average salary in UK, right? You have 49,851 euros per year in the United Kingdoms. In India, you would be paid around about 9 lakhs per year, and that's a very hefty amount for a beginner, right? Now we come to a point that why should we go and learn data science on a cloud platform, and that too on the Azure? The answer is pretty simple. Cloud gives us the promise and the benefit of whatever we need for data science. You need high performance compute, you need clusters, heavy end clusters, GPU enabled clusters, graphical processing units. You need tensor processing unit clusters to do training, right, for kernel development. You need data storage technology like lakes, databases, right? You need machine learning pipelining strategies. You want to develop pipelines, right? MLOps pipelines. So the point is, whatever you need to do a robust machine learning operationalization project, everything is available in the cloud, that too on demand and as a pay as you go. You use it, you delete it, that's it. There is no need for you to go to the market and purchase a $10,000 GPU box, right? There is no need to go into the market and purchase a $100,000 TPU box. You just go and grab it from the Microsoft and do your work, delete it, right? You find everything, a platform to do cloud based data science. And more companies in the modern times are moving towards cloud based platforms for doing their data science and machine learning based projects, except when then there is a compliance and regulatory needs to remain on prem. Otherwise they have to go and migrate to the cloud. They cannot bear capital expenditures because funds are very much drying in the industry. Funds are very hard to secure. These startups and various companies alike, the funds are very precious and they cannot waste the money into capital expenditures, right? So they preferred using cloud for operational expenditure, right? So ML workflow. What is a workflow? A workflow is a repeatable, reliable, consistent way of doing something that takes the raw inputs and gives us the desired output as the processed output. So typically in the workflow life cycle, you prepare your data preparation. It is typically done by data engineers, but as a data scientist, you must have little bit of idea about data preparation tasks like data cleansing, data transformations, data imputations, scaling, normalizations, pivoting, unpivoting. A lot of things are there. A lot of technologies can be used to do that. You can use Databricks, you can use Azure HD Insights, you can use Azure Data Factory mapping data flows. So a lot of technologies exist on the Microsoft Azure platform, which we see machine learning people typically use when they do data preparation tasks. Then you need to do exploratory data analysis, and you need to do something called as the training, model authoring, model validations, right? So you build your model in your favorite IDE, whatever your integrated development environment may be, Jupyter Labs, Visual Studio Code, whatever you prefer, right? And you do what's called as model authoring and model validation. That is called as train and test your model. A model is, in a simple way, if I put, it's a prediction function. That is an output of statistical learning algorithm. So we in the modern times use something called as a statistical theory of learning, right? We are not using what's called as expert systems that we used to use in the 90s and the 80s, expert systems. Nowadays we use what's called a statistical learning of theory, statistical theory of learning, right? So train and test your model using such learning algorithms. We have invented a lot of statistical learning algorithms like logistic regressions, gradient boostings, random forests, and so on and so forth. So many algorithms are there, I cannot even name them. And the model has to be registered and then properly deployed and monitored and managed. And we always prefer to deploy our models as what? We prefer to deploy our models as images, containers. And there is a benefit to that. There are a lot of advantages when you deploy your models as images and containers, right? Rather than directly as a virtual machine, directly on top of a virtual machine, you deploy them within containers. Advantages of environments, advantages of rapid scale, security, orchestration using Kubernetes. A lot of advantages accrue when we do deployments using the various ways like the images, okay, and containers. So in Azure, Microsoft brings to the table the entire platform to do everything, right? You will be given scalable on-demand compute, development workstations, training clusters, inference clusters, attached compute, GPUs, TPUs, whatever you want, you have it. That's it. Pay as you go. Use it, delete it. That's it. Data storage and connectivity options. You get everything, right? Open data sets, web data sets, data stores that exist in the cloud like lakes and databases of various natures, and seamless connectivity, right? You don't have to write any gluing code in order to connect to your data sources and move the data from here and there. Nothing required. It's directly visible to your entire Azure machine learning platform. You are given a robust workflow orchestration pipelining model, right? You will be able to develop pipelines without any pain, right? ML pipelines are simplest in the Azure machine learning. You develop pipelines using your pipeline steps and pipeline run configurations easily. Okay. Models can be registered, can be tracked. You can look at their versions. You can track their drifts. You can track their explanations and fairness. Everything can be managed at the click of a button in the Azure machine learning. And you'll be able to monitor and analyze the metrics of the models and deployments in the Azure Log Analytics service to understand whether you have any kind of a performance discrepancy in the production environment. And you can obviously do the model deployments to a web service, to a real-time inference cluster, to a batch inference cluster. And all this lives on top of the intelligent, highly compliant, highly secure Microsoft Azure public cloud platform. Okay. So all in all, a holistic package to all the machine learning people to do the work in the cloud native machine learning, right? We should say it like that. So what you are given is a studio, right? I have it. I have my project environment. I can show you that maybe a little later. If time is there, I will take the permission of the organizer if they allow me to show some demonstration, but nonetheless, this is what's called as a studio in which we work and author our projects, register the data, train the model, evaluate the model's performance, and then deploy the model and consume them. And Microsoft provides Azure machine learning for all sort of people. Nobody can say that everyone is an expert in coding right from the day one. It will take time, right? So Microsoft provides something called as automated machine learning and the designer. These two approaches are for people who do not want to write code. So if you say, I want to develop state-of-the-art, high-end machine learning models without writing even a single line of code, automated ML and designer. But obviously, data scientists are known for coding, right? They typically prefer to write logic with a programming language because of the versatility, because of the performance optimizations that they can achieve when they write program targeting a specific runtime environment, right? So you typically get more control, more performance, more configuration aware systems with pipelines, with coding that you write in your languages, right? So there you can develop notebooks as well, right? So what I want to say is that Azure Machine Learning Studio is a place where we author our projects, and Microsoft provides us authoring experience for people of all levels, right? Whether you are a beginner, whether you are an intermediate guy, whether you are an expert person writing a lot of code, everything is at your disposal. So the question that arises is that how to do data science and machine learning on the Azure platform. Data science and machine learning on the Azure platform can be done using various tools and technologies that exist. You have various tools, development tools. Most popular are obviously Jupyter, Visual Studio Code, Git, right? Data ingestion tools are there like SQL Server, data tools, Data Factory, Event Hubs, Logic Apps, data lakes, right? Data exploration and visualization tools are there. Similarly, ML and AI tools exist on the Microsoft Azure platform. And the data platforms are like Apache Spark, Hadoop, MapReduce, your data lakes, SQL Server, ML services. Everything is available on the Azure cloud, but at the center of everything is what is called as a data science virtual machine, DSVM. DSVM is now embedded inside the machine learning studio, and that is called as a compute instance. Earlier, we used to deploy a DSVM from the marketplace. It is available nowadays as well, which means a DSVM. We used to deploy it from the marketplace. But if you want to have it in the studio, it's available in the studio, and you can right up front start working on the machine learning project. No need to take a laptop and install all these things and spend days and hours in just configuring them and getting lost, right? So remove the static friction. When someone starts, they have a static friction, then the kinetic friction. And we all know from basic physics, static friction is more than kinetic friction, right? So Microsoft removes the friction, right? They give you this VM and you start directly working on this VM, right? Now we answer a question that why companies are looking for qualified data scientists. What is the reason that data science is the most sought after skill that companies are looking into their people? The reason is that companies are gathering data in a dirt cheap way, right? Every department in the company, whatever that department may be, the sales department have their Salesforce and a CRM system, the finance department has their ERP system, the operations department have their supply chain system, right? And your CEOs and CFOs and CXO people have their knowledge support, decision support system. All departments are day in and day out gathering a lot of data. They are living in the world of big data, high volume, high velocity, high variety, high veracity data quality. But the biggest V that the CEOs and CFOs are looking at, people who are interested in business and money, V is value, right? They know that in order to beat the competitors who are competing with them in the market, they must understand the future as fast as possible. Gone are those days when you would wait for quarters, you would wait for 6 months, or you would wait for an year. Gone are those days when we used to do quarter on quarter analysis, year on year analysis. Gone are those days. People want real time analytics, real time prediction capabilities to become business leaders, right? You must be able to understand the market before your competitor grabs that opportunity. the opportunity cost is very high in the modern time, in the modern business scenario. So companies understand that the data that they are gathering has very high value, and they are gathering it in dirt cheap way, right? They are storing it, they're stuffing it in the lakes that they have, but they don't have people, they don't have skilled individuals, they don't have that talent in their company that understands how to derive that value out of it. It's like oil, right? They have oil in their company, they have the crude in their company, but they don't have refineries, people who can refine it, people who can bring out the real value that is there out of it, right? So companies are looking at qualified data scientists, the data scientists that understand not only the technical side but also the business side. They must be able to reason the domain specific questions. They must be able to reason the kind of questions that are asked in the board meetings at the level of business decision makers. So you should be properly aware about mathematics, basic algebra, basic probability, basic statistics. You must have coding skills because you have to learn certain libraries. Like, as I told you, you have to learn libraries like scikit-learn, keras, pytorch, tensorflow. Data wrangling and pre-processing. You shall never find the data in the form and the shape that is ready to be taken into machine learning algorithm. Learning algorithms typically take vectors of numerical numbers. So you need to somehow clean the data, normalize the data, bring it to a smaller scale the data properly, properly do feature engineering, do principal components analysis, understand correlations and the covariances in your feature vectors. Lot of things have to be done before you can safely take that data to a learning algorithm. You cannot put stones into a learning algorithm. You have to bring something which is high fidelity, high value content and put it inside the machine learning. Data wrangling and data pre-processing techniques have to be understood. Data visualization skills, I should not say that per se you must have, because that is the domain of descriptive analytics, which a data analyst would go ahead and master the art of. But at least you should be a storyteller of your predictive analytical output. If you predict that if the snow melts on the mountains, the crop yield will increase by a certain percentage in the Middle East regions, you must support it with the numbers. For instance, UNESCO does that every year, right? They study the amount of snow that melts on the mountains in the Middle Eastern regions and predict the growth of crop in those regions. So that in case their prediction says, hey, crop this year would be lower as compared to the previous year, so they prepare their food safety programs, they prepare their entire humanitarian aid programs well ahead of time. It's not that the problem will occur today and they will be coming tomorrow, right? So they have to use predictive analytical systems to predict all these things. Machine learning skills. The modern data science is based on machine learning, right? So you need to learn the basic fundamental of the modern theory of a statistical learning, right? We use what's called a statistical theory of learning in the modern world. And we have devised various um, learning algorithms that exist in the modern world, right? You must have real world project skills. You must understand how modern projects are executed, how we collaborate with various roles, how do we collaborate with data engineers, how do we collaborate with cloud administrators, how do we collaborate with cloud solution designers and solution architects, and so on and so forth. Your communication skills must be extremely strong. You must be able to articulate what you really want to project, what you really want to say, right? You must be able to articulate that. You must have lifelong learning skills. The reason, you will see although data science is not like DevOps, in DevOps you get a new tool every day, right? That's how they say. DevOps tool chain. In DevOps, every new tool pops up every day. But here it's not like that. But the point is, there is no end to the business use of data science. Newer and newer business problems will arise in the modern world, and the solution to those business problems will lie in crunching the data and getting the answer through the data, because data never tells you the lie. The data tells you the truth. That's it. Oh, it's not an opinion, right? Okay, opinions does not matter, right? Okay, so team player skills, and you must have proper ethical skills, because what you develop should be ethical. You should develop it in a fair way. You should develop it in an inclusive manner. You should develop it with reliability, safety, and privacy. You should develop it with accountability and transparency. Ethical skills must be there. So data scientists who have proper exposure into all fields will be able to stand in the market like rock. Okay. Business scenario. I told you right at the beginning, right? I can discuss a lot of business scenarios from my practice. But the point is that time is a little concern here. I will have to wind up within a short while. The point is, there are a lot of business scenarios. Take an example of a recommendation system, right? So you go to Netflix, right? You go to Netflix, you browse the genres, you browse the categories, you see some movies. When you pause any movie, they ask you, not for me, yes, I like it, rate the movie, right? So you are generating data, right? You are generating the data by your clicks, your page visits, not for me, yes, it's for me. You give the ratings. All that data is what we take, do a lot of things with it, right? Lot of data pre-processing techniques are used. And then eventually what you get through the recommendation system is a recommendation to watch similar kind of movies with similar genres and similar kind of categories, similar kind of themes, similar kind of plot angles, and various kind of um, acts that are there in the movie, right? If you want to see more gory content, right? Terminator, army movies, sniper movies. I'm just trying to tell you. So recommendation systems. And then that analytics is served to you. You become the consumer of that analytics. And then you see more and more content. And that's how your experience on the platform becomes enriched. You have more satisfying experience on the platform. And you feel that you are happy while watching the movies on a certain kind of a platform, right? So predictive analytics is everywhere. If I were to tell you another scenario, for instance, which is taken by these organizations, I was in one of the project that I told you. That project was to analyze the crop yield in these war affected zones, and zones which suffer typically from humanitarian issues of all these kinds of problems, right? So there was a study, there was a research conducted that the crop yield in the Middle Eastern regions is highly correlated with the uh, rainfall and the amount of snow that melts on the mountains, right? So we had to take the data of the satellites, right? Satellite regions, the maps of the satellites, the satellite images and all of that, properly encode, do semantic segmentation on those images, and understand the amount of snow that is melting as a function of time series data, and take that time series data and forecast and correlate it with the crop yield in the region. And if the crop yield falls below a certain amount, then it is a high time for these UNESCO, UNO, United Nations, to take humanitarian aid programs and design those programs right ahead of time, right? So that in case any kind of a issue arises regarding the food safety, they will be able to address those humanitarian issues, right? Similarly, there are other projects as well that aim towards animal safety, right? That how economic activity and manufacturing activity in the forest regions is correlated with the population growth of the ecosystem of those regions. So the point that I want to emphasize is that there is no end to where you can use predictive analytics. What can you correlate? What can be correlated together? There is no end. The world is correlated and causated. The world has correlations and causations in it. Everything happens in effect of something. Something is directly caused by something. Until you have correlations and causations in the universe, you are always able to do predictive analytics. You'll always be able to tell what will happen in the future. And so if you have high fidelity, high quantity, high quality data in your hand, that would assist you in telling the future. Predictive analytics. So businesses need the entire systems. So data science is extremely crucial, empowering management officers to make better decisions, direct the actions based on trends identified, which in turn help maximize the outputs, challenge the staff to adopt better practices, identify more market opportunities that the uh, competitors may not be able to visualize because they don't have a predictive system that analyzes the data. Decision making with quantifiable data driven. Opinions do not matter. Tell us on your data, right? Even a CEO does not matter, right? Your opinions don't matter simply. Okay. Identification and refining target audiences, testing these decisions, recruiting the right talent for the organization. We can use data science literally everywhere. Okay. Till you have correlations and causations in the universe, you will always be able to do data science. Okay. So DP100 certification. At this moment, I'm gonna hand it back to our marketing team. They will explain to you the product called as DP100 certification and what assistance and what guidance can K21 team bring to you. So I would now give it back to our people who is Shivansh, right? So Shivansh, it's back to you now. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible fully? Hello.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So, guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying and learning so far. So, if you guys have any questions, please do put them down in the comment section. Vishwa, today we do not have a demo, but stay tuned till the end because I will be telling you about a different free class that we have on this particular certification where there might be a demo involved over there as well. So make sure you're staying here and till the end because again you will get a few other benefits as well if you stay till the end and also get to understand about the different things that a trainer that sir have told you guys about where you can actually learn those things in a much more efficient manner and to cover all of these things as quickly as possible as well. So, guys, first of all, I hope you guys have understood everything. If you have, please do rate us out of 5, 5 being the highest, and anything below than that, please do tell us the reason as well so that we can achieve the target of 5 as well. So, rating out of 5, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and anything below than 5, please do tell us the reason as well. So, guys, first of all, the certification that is associated with data science on Microsoft Azure is called the DP100 certification. So, if you look at the certification pathway, you would see that first of all is the fundamentals, that is EZ 900, but again that is a very optional kind of a certification. Even if you don't have that, but you have the knowledge, you don't need that certification. You can directly go at the associate level of certifications, where exists the Microsoft Azure data scientist associate certification. This is what the badge looks like, and this is what you should be targeting if you are planning to have a career in data science in Microsoft Azure. So this is uh, okay. Sheikh Wali. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm really bad with names. But yeah, the trainer that just taught you guys till now, that would be the instructor for the course as well. I will be coming down onto the course as well. So again, have any questions, please do put them down below. But again, we didn't wanted this particular live session to be only about the course, but more about the learning, and to give you guys an introduction of the industry, the things that are happening new, and what is the importance of data science. That is what was the main goal. But again, if you guys have any questions regarding the course, please do make sure you put them down. I'll be more than happy to answer those. Okay, now do DP100 certification, who this certification is for actually, number one. And again guys, when I'm saying DP100, this is a certification from Microsoft Azure only. This is not a certification from K21 Academy. This is a certification that is, again, the exam is taken by Microsoft, the result is published by Microsoft itself, and you get the certification directly issued by Microsoft also. The industry is very high on the people who have these certifications, because these certifications gives you a validation to the skills that you possess. Now the candidates who are interested in machine learning and AI, this is the perfect certification for them. IT professionals who have a thorough knowledge of Microsoft Azure, people working as data scientists, and candidates who should have subject matter experience applying data science and machine learning to implement and learn machine learning workloads on Microsoft Azure. So these are the four different types of people who this particular certification is perfect for. Now, the exam overview, that is the certificate. So every certification that Microsoft offers, there is a dedicated exam to it. You first need to clear that exam, and that is the time when you actually get the certification. So in this, the entire certification exam is divided into four different parts. The first one is manage Azure resources for machine learning, which constitutes of 25 to 30% of the entire exam. Then run experiments and train models, that is from 20 to 25% of the exam. Deploy and operationalize machine learning solutions, that is the 35 to 40% of the exam. And in the end, implement responsible machine learning, that would constitute around 5 to 10% of the syllabus of the exam. Moving on, why certification is important? I have been saying that from the very start of the webinar. So a lot of you might have the question ki, okay, we get it, certification is important, but why is that? The answer to that question is, at the very moment, because there are so many jobs out there, the competition has also increased a lot. As HR today, an HR professional today, or a hiring manager today gets like thousands of resumes and CVs every day. But how do you stand out? How do they also kind of look for candidates that have much more higher percentage of eventually getting the job? What they look for is what we call as certification badges or certifications on a particular resume or CV. When you look at these two different CVs, I want to ask you, if you were to be in a hiring professional's shoes, which one out of the CVs would you pick? Put it in the chat window, guys. Again, I'm looking at the chat window as we go. I want your opinion. Which one would you pick, the left CV or the right CV? Yes, absolutely. Everybody, I see everybody would pick the right side CV, because again, why is that? Because it has certifications on it. Now, what is the rule of a certification? Like I mentioned before, it gives a credibility to the skills that you possess. For example, I can tomorrow go out and say, okay, let's take an example of driving a car. Everybody can drive a car, but what validates your skill of driving a car? A valid license. So that is what a certification also plays a role in your career. Let's suppose in this particular course, it's not a supposition actually, you train and you get all the skills, you practice as well, get the practical knowledge of implementation data science on Azure. Then you go for the certification and you'll clear the certification. You will only be able to clear the certification because you have the skills, right? So that particular way, your skills are being validated by Microsoft as well. And that validation is good enough for quite a lot of companies out there, because a lot of them have a criteria that we will only interview you, or we will only let you get onto the stage 2 of the hiring process if you have that certification to your name. So that is the reason why in today's date having certifications is so very much important on your CV. Now, we talked about certifications, we talked about salaries, we talk about job market as well. A lot of you might have this question in your head as to how do I learn all of this, and how do I learn all of this in the most quick, most efficient manner whatsoever. So to answer that particular question, we have something which is called a learning path. Now, what is a learning path? For the people who have been to K21 Academy's sessions before, they know that learning path is something that K21 Academy is known from primarily, because these are the most efficient way for you to get or gather or to kind of learn all the skills, all the new technology, all the tools, to not only clear the particular certification but also be industry ready. Because even after the certification, the end goal is to get a job, is to get that higher paying job, is to get that juicy paycheck at the end of the month. And this particular learning path is the key to that. We start with week number first, where we cover getting started with Azure and machine learning. Now, majority of the modules that you are about to see, you will see that there are labs written at the end. Now, these labs are hands-on labs. What are hands-on labs? We believe in whatever you're learning, that is theoretical knowledge, you also need the practical knowledge as well. So we associate proper labs with the theoretical topics that you're learning to the most possible extent ever. Now, on week number 2, we cover no code machine learning. Again, labs are there. On week number 3, we cover running experiments and training models. Week number on week number 4, we cover module number 4 and module number 5. Module number 4 is working with data. Module number 5 is working with compute. On week number 5, we cover orchestrating operations with pipelines. And module number 7, deploying and consuming models. On week number 6, we cover training optimal models. Again, labs are associated with that. On week number 7, we cover responsible machine learning. Again, like I mentioned, labs, you will see labs are almost in all of the modules till now. On week number 8, we cover module number 10, that is monitoring models. And in week number 9 and 10th, we believe that you have gotten all the skills. So now is the time to start preparing for the certification. So we help you out with how to clear the certification with sample exam questions, quizzes, and so many more other kind of resources there. Then we also have, after once you have cleared the certification, we now focus on you getting a job. And how do we do that? With the help of something called CV preparation. For every job opportunity that you apply, it most probably would have a different JD, that is job description. So every different job description needs a new CV prepared for that to best suit the requirements that are mentioned in the job description. So we help you with creating those individual CVs as well. Now, this is the particular program that we have for you guys on DP100, that is Design and Implement Data Science on Azure. In this particular training program, we have 10 modules, 20 lessons, 20 hands-on labs, 100 plus exam questions, exam and CV prep, and on-job support. I will be coming on to what these things are in a bit. Now, these are the different hands-on labs. As you can see, we start from the very basics by creating an Azure machine learning workspace to going to the end, which is the advanced level, to a point where you can monitor a model with application insights. Now, our unique training methodology. So I think the last webinar that I had done with you guys, one of you guys had asked me as to why you should be choosing K21 Academy. And I love that question, to be honest, because it shows that you are actually considerate of your career, of the money that you're putting in, that you want to know what exactly are you getting for. So What are you getting for? Let me explain you. Number one, free on-job support for 1 year. We are so very sure that you will get a job that we also offer something called on-job support for 1 entire year. Now, what is that? That means once you are, you know, into a job, you're working in the industry after clearing the certification, getting your first job, you will still be getting assistance from K21 Academy for the issues that you're facing at your job for the entirety of 1 year ever since you bought the training program. So whatever doubts you're facing at your workplace, you come back to us, put it in our WhatsApp groups, put it at our on Zendesk, and you will get your doubts answered even then as well. Then you also get weekly and live interactive sessions. That means so for example, this is a similar space. On those particular sessions, the session would be slightly longer. It would be absolutely live. So, and right now you can't unmute yourself and ask me question directly. You have to put it in the chat window. At that particular time, that would not be the case. You can directly unmute yourself and talk to the trainer. Tell him or tell her that, okay, sir, this is something that I'm not able to understand. Can you please explain it again? So that is the best part about live interactive sessions. Afterwards, we have free unlimited retakes of the course for 1 year. That means ever since you buy the course, you can enroll in any new batch that starts in the next 1 year of you buying the course. Post session recording of for lifetime access. That means every live class that you attend or that is in your batch, those classes will be recorded and you will get the lifetime access to those recordings. Again, if you do miss out on any class and you want to attend that class again, you can watch the recording or you can enroll in the next batch that's starting in the future. After that, we also have videos and activity guides to learn at your own pace. We at K21 Academy certainly believes that you are every person is different, their learning capabilities are different. Somebody can take, let's suppose, a week less, somebody can take a week more. So we have catered to those needs as well by also giving you the opportunity to watch pre-recorded videos. That means every topic is covered in one individual videos, and you can watch those in advance if you want to cover in the future, or if you want to cover something that has already been covered that you were not able to understand in the class, you can even watch pre-recorded videos which are separate from the live interactive sessions that happen. Now, WhatsApp and ticketing support system, like I mentioned, at on-job support as well. Even when you are learning, when you are preparing for your certification as well, you do have an option of a WhatsApp group, a WhatsApp community feature, as we call it, where you interact with your trainer, you interact with the K21 Academy team, and also your peers, your batchmates, where you can discuss new topics, ask your doubts, tell us about the issues that you're facing, and all of that. Same is that with the ticketing system. If a doubt is slightly more complex, it's going to take a little more time. We would ask you to uh, go at our ticketing support system that is called Zendesk, and over there you put down your complaint and you get a ticket there. And with that, you will hold us accountable at K21 Academy if your doubt or issue has not been resolved. So that is again a great way to show that we are always responsible for your learning at every given point of time. Then hands-on lab, like I mentioned, with step-by-step activity guides, like I have mentioned before, these are labs where you can practice whatever you are learning in the classes. Then again, the main reason or the main goal of these trainings is to get you certified as well as to get you guys a job. So that is like the main area that we at K21 Academy is objectively focusing, these two areas. Now, guys, till this point, if you guys have any questions, please do put them down in the chat window. I would love to answer them before I move forward. So I'll wait for, let's suppose, a minute, I believe, and then I'll move forward. If you guys have any questions, not a minute, I'll say 30 seconds. If you guys have any questions, please do put them down in the comment section so I can pick them up directly onto the live. Till now, I believe I've answered majority of them, if not all, but I don't want that I miss out on any question. So if you guys have any questions, please do put them down below. I would love to answer those questions as well. Okay, I am looking at the chat window. Okay, yes, Akshay, the videos or the entire how would I say, the entire course is going to be in two different formats. Number one is live classes, and the second one is for you to directly watch the pre-recorded videos. Again, these live classes will also be recorded, and you will give the access to the recording. But apart from that, you will also be having pre-recorded videos of every individual topic. I would be telling you guys about a free class at the end of the day, at the end of this particular session, where all of these things are being explained in much more detail. Now, success stories to inspire you guys. Again, these are individuals just like yourself who had, you know, came to K21 Academy with the dream, with the goal in their mind that they want to learn data science with Azure and they want to get a job. And that is something that we at K21 Academy were able to do for them. Now we have got Lakshmi Preeti. She says I passed DP 100 today with 900 out of 1000 score. Really appreciate the support from K21 Academy. Atul, Meenal, Akshay, and the rest of the team. Thank you so much. My biggest gratitude, Abdul Ali says, my biggest gratitude goes to the K21 Academy team who helped me achieve this milestone in my first attempt, the past 2 months. Of attending sessions and his passion to teach was remarkable. I'd like to thank our team. And if anyone asks me about the DP 100 by K21, my answer will be go for it, 100%. We also have Neil that says, hello friends, there is a good news to share. I cleared DP 100 exam today. So again, guys, these are just some of the many examples. If you want to see more, you can always go at k21academy.com/reviews to check out the reviews given by these people who are just like yourself, who are starting out and choose K21 Academy to, start the career journey in DP 100. Now, this is how the certification exam looks like, certificate of DP 100 looks like, guys. And yeah, I want you guys to, envision that one day you will also be able to clear the certification and your name should be instead of these people here. Again, these are individuals from K21 Academy, the batches who have cleared this certification. Now, like I have asked you as well, we at the end of every class ask our learners to rate our sessions out of 5, and this is the rating that we have gotten till now. Every one of the ratings you'll see is a 5 and nothing below than that. Okay, I'll just read one out. Here you go. I really appreciate K21 team for providing interactive platform where we can discuss all the essential services required. It thanks Atul a lot. I like every basic concept to build yourself towards cloud journey. Regards, Amit S. So guys, again, this is just a testament to how much we are dedicated towards your learning journey. Now, a lot of you guys were asking about demo. A lot of you guys were asking about the price of the course. A lot of you guys were asking about the next step as well. So all of that would be covered. Okay. Snehal, you need to attend this particular live class at k21academy.com/dp10002. Again, this particular live class is also for absolutely for free. You can go and register for this. It is again absolutely for free. You can learn a few new things as well. And again, for the people who are asking whether there is a live demo in this particular class, sorry, in this particular class there is not one, but there is definitely one in the upcoming in this particular free class that I'm mentioning currently on the screen. Does the training cover Databricks and Flow, TensorFlow options, or focuses on Azure products alone? Vishwa, the training only focuses on Azure products only in this particular case, because again, the certification that we are also targeting is the DP 100. So, but at K21 Academy, at K21 Academy, I believe we do have other courses as well that might cover this particular thing. So for both of you guys, Vishwa as well as Snehal, I would request you to put down your contact details in the chat window, and somebody from my team would definitely reach out to you to help you out with whatever issues or the questions that you have regarding this. As for the DP 100 particular course, I believe Snehal, if you are planning to buy this particular course, I would recommend you to actually see what else we also cover, what are the bonuses that you get as well before making a particular decision. As for the price, please do put down your contact details, your phone number, or and your email ID, and somebody from my team will directly help you out with whatever doubts you have on that particular part. But if you are looking for a particular course where you can learn how to implement data science and machine learning on Microsoft Azure, then this particular training program is the one for you. It is absolutely perfect. In this particular session, we will actually not be covering the price. I'm sorry, I no think I think there is some issue, but yeah, we are actually not. We will not be covering uh, the price on this particular live class, but the one that I have mentioned on your screen right now, uh, which you have to register for at k21academy.com/dp10002. In that particular class, you will be able to know everything about able to know everything about the particular course that we are offering. Rajiv, we unfortunately, buddy, I don't think we have a course on AI/ML on AWS. At that particular time, I am not so sure if there is a particular certification on the same as well. I can be wrong, but I do not have a knowledge in terms of whether there is a certification on AI/ML on AWS. As for Microsoft Azure, which is again one of the top cloud platforms on the that are available in the market right now, this is the particular course that we have for that. And I believe if you want me to cover as to what we are covering in this particular course, I'll just come at the learning part so as to give you guys again a better idea as to what we are covering. So again, guys, this all is the are the things that we are covering. And as you can see, all these particular topics also have their dedicated hands-on labs associated with that as well. Uh, so again, guys, if you guys have any questions, please do put them down. I would love to cover them as we go as well. I'll have a look at the chart once more. As if I'll see if I can. Okay, one of you guys have asked me about a programming language. That is it mandatory to know R or Python language? Guys, when we are looking at from a perspective of data science only, then but in that particular case, yes, definitely it would be very beneficial for you if you guys know either of the two programming languages, R or Python. But when we are looking at this particular course that we are offering, in that particular case, you do not need the knowledge of a programming language or a prerequisite of a programming language, let it be Python or R. In this particular course, the focus is more on the integration of data science with Microsoft Azure, as you can see from the topics that we are covering as well. So guys, if you guys have any question, please do put them down in the comment section. I'd love to cover them up. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna have a look once more. Again, I don't want to miss out on any kind of questions right now. That is like one of my major concerns. Okay. So again, guys, I think a few of you guys might be looking at us or watching this live webinar from YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure that you do. And okay, I'm just having a look at the questions. Okay. So I think Vishal has asked this question. Are companies actually looking for data science professionals on a particular cloud? Definitely, Vishal. Till now, you might have seen job openings open for data science professionals all across the world. But now companies are also looking at people who would have the knowledge for the integration between data science, machine learning on different cloud platforms as well. That includes Microsoft Azure being at the top of the list because the because of the multiple tools and other platforms associated with Microsoft Azure. So again, yes, there is a very high demand, but there is also not that much of a supply of these professionals because a lot of them are uh, data science professionals which are working on directly programming languages, Python R, or they are currently working on Microsoft Excel on that part, but a lot of them are not specifically working on cloud platforms directly or have the certification for the same, that is the DP100. So because of that, the demand is quite high and the opportunities are also available. So if you are somebody who is interested in such a particular job role, then this particular training program would be perfect for you. And I would highly recommend you to go and register at k21academy.com/dp10002 to get a better idea of whatever these topics that we are talking about in this particular free class as well. We will be covering a few things like why learn Azure cloud and machine trains for machine learning, the DP100 certification roadmap, what are the exam basics. We'll be going a little on depth. We would have two different demos. Number one, how to create a machine learning workspace in Azure, and second is training and deploying a classification model in Azure ML, that's Azure machine learning. Then we will also be looking at again the importance of certification, the hands-on labs that you need to learn and then you need to perform to clear the DP100 certification exam, the different job opportunities for data scientists in the market, and we will also be having a Q&A section like today, but directly with the trainer. And for the people who are interested in the training program, you would also get some bonus gifts if in the direct in this particular free class. So guys, again, make sure that you go and attend this particular class. Even if you are not, if even if you don't end up buying a particular course, then also you will get a free gift, that is the Microsoft Azure data scientist sample exam questions. So this is absolutely for free. So even if you don't want to buy the particular course, if you stay till the end and you watch the entire thing, then also you will get this particular free gift. Okay, I don't see any questions. So now, guys, last but not the least, I would highly recommend you guys to go and join our Telegram community at on Telegram at k21academy.com/Azure community. Currently, we have around 14,275 members, but this number is constantly increasing with the new people joining in. So again, guys, this is something that's absolutely for free. You get to be a part of a community where there are constantly new discussions about the technologies that are up and coming in the world of Microsoft Azure. We also talk about the different blogs absolutely for free, the different free videos that we upload on our social media handles, primarily YouTube, and so many more. So again, I would highly recommend you to go and join this particular Telegram group at k21academy.com/Azure community. Again, absolutely for free. If you guys have any questions, please do put them down in the comment section. I'll just wait for one more minute and then I will be ending the webinar right there. Okay, we got a question from Michael. Is it meant? Sorry. What is the is statistical analysis knowledge important to learn data science? Michael, the answer to that would be yes. A lot of the things that you deal with, a lot of different things that you learn in the data science domain are associated with working on data and then giving predictions. So statistics play a huge and most important role in this particular rule, a job role as a whole, because again at the end you're getting large chunks of data. You are first cleaning that data, modeling that data, and then getting insights out of that particular data so that you can solve a business problem at the end of the day. A lot of these problems will also be dependent on making different predictions, like a trainer I have also mentioned. And to make those predictions, you need to have a very good knowledge of statistical analysis at the end as well. That is why when you look at the industry as well, a lot of people start by working as a business analyst or a data analyst, and then they they get promotions to a point of becoming a data scientist. The difference between a data scientist and data analysis analyst is that a data analyst is only working on analyzing the data given to him, whereas a data scientist is working more on creating models, machine learning models, to have a much better, much more in-depth, much more accurate analysis of the data that is present there. At the very core, when we look at a data analyst, his job responsibility is slightly lesser than of a data scientist. Okay, I am looking at the questions. Okay, guys, I am not seeing any questions, so I believe that we have answered majority of the questions, if not all. So again, thank you very much, guys, for joining with us today. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you guys had any questions, I believe we answered a lot, all of them, because I don't see any questions anymore. And again, I would highly recommend. I would expect that all of you guys would have registered for this particular free class and would attend this free class as well. This would be highly beneficial for you if you are interested in the DP100 certification as a whole as well. So make sure you follow us on our social media handles, and I will see you guys again at the next webinar that we are organizing. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great day, night, wherever you guys are located in the world.